Welcome back to BAMM's Global Scene Amsterdam. So far we've introduced you to the city. Now we're going to take you to the heart of the matter and tell you about the music. Where does the music come from and what makes it unique? It seems that Amsterdam's long history as a major trading post is reflected in the music that's made there. Its rich mix of cultures and influences have combined to create a uniquely Dutch sound heard in the music coming out of Amsterdam today.
There are some genres in Dutch music that are really typical to the country. Everything that's happening in Volendam, which is that popular that 1 out of 3 people says it's their favorite kind of music. Dutch, spoken Dutch music, which we can call like Schlager kind of music. It's not my favorite music though.
And Holland isn't a country with a very strong musical tradition at all. Anyway, there's no such thing as traditional Dutch music. You have Johnny Jordaan or André Hazes, but it's all bits and pieces from Italian and Greece and mixed together.
When Julius Caesar went to the Netherlands, he came back after that, and they asked him like, how was it in the Netherlands? And he was like, well, he said, Frisia non cantat, which means the Frisians don't sing.
Our most famous bands that are being promoted by radio channels like 3FM are like Go Back to the Zoo, Kensington, which is just like a rip-off, like an editor's rip-off basically. It's all bands that already exist outside of Holland, but we don't have those artists in Holland.
And I don't really care that much about that aspect of are people imitating. That's how popular music is. That is what popular music is. And occasionally someone, more or less by accident, invents something which is new. And on the other hand, you know, for instance, in hip hop or in interesting things have been happening here, which I'm not hearing somewhere else.
Onberenige verlangens laten lijken of ik dag droom. Fantasie moet je hebben. Je moet hebben. Als ik het goed heb, zul je zo'n moed niet redden. Wat moet je vandaag doen?
Most Dutch hip-hop is in the Dutch language. They have a certain accent that is coming from the streets. And then it sounds really raw, you know? Me as a Dutch person, I would say, if you sing in Dutch, it's really hard to make it interesting and make it sound raw.
Yeah, well, as a songwriter, I started out to sing in English. In the end, I thought, well, I'm going to try it in Dutch, and I'm singing more in Dutch than in English now. And it was a challenge to me to make it musical, to make it sound like music.
Ik deed aan een wedstrijd mee en toen tipte iemand mij, maak eens een Nederlandse tekst. Toen had ik 1 Nederlandse tekst en dat ging me heel makkelijk af. Het was leuker om te zingen en om mensen echt een verhaal te vertellen. Het komt sneller ook aan bij mensen als je niet alleen de muziek, maar dat de tekst ook meer het toe doet of zo. En het gaat dieper voor mij.
Niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, zonde.
People that are really choosing to sing in Dutch again are quite refreshing. I respect that a lot. Like somebody like Eefje is really doing something quite interesting, I think. Like she's really using contemporary indie music, but in her own language.
The appeal of acts like Spinvis, Roastbeef, Minded Talma, I don't think the basics are them using the Dutch language. I mean, basically it's just good music.
Ik hoef niet naar je familie, jij bent daar niet van mij. Ik hoef niet naar je familie, jij bent daar niet van mij. Ik zie het veel van verlangen, net als een ballon. Soms vast ik open en zwemt op je toon. Niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken, niet uitmaken.
People who I value most in Dutch jazz history are come out of the scene of the 60s. It's older guys like Han Benning and Misha Mengelberg and Hans Dover, all these people that were revolutionary at the time.
These people are very famous in all over the world, so people all over the world come to still listen to them, and they know them. So I find that inspiring.
They have really managed to give Dutch jazz music an identity.
Personally, I think that there is a typical Dutch style of music, and it's been kind of evolving throughout the decades.
In the beginning of electronic music, I think the Dutch made the difference. Let's say the hardstyle kind of music, the hardcore electronic music is still strong on an international level. It's really a niche, but I think the Dutch specifically developed this kind of electronic music.
It all caught up with each other, early 90s here. First it started being a very, I should say, kind of happy sounding melodic house sound that was more outspoken than the New Yorker style, or perhaps more cheerful than other European house productions at the time. And later on, obviously the trance scene has become massive, and not just in England but also in the Netherlands. There is a big group of people into this sound of music. It are Dutch DJs that are ruling the charts at this point. Then there's another trend going on where let's say 90s house, and then more the American Chicago style is being remixed and reinvented by Dutch producers, and they're doing really, really good with this. They're traveling all over the world. I think that you could speak of typically Dutch productions.
In the next episode, we will continue to examine Amsterdam as we look at the communities artists create in order to support the local music scene. Look out for it at BAMM.TV.